All right. So good evening, guys. So now we are starting with our today's session. So yeah, day before yesterday we covered two parts of the Power BI where we have learned how to load data and how to do further modeling on the data. I'm going to say how to build relationship in the data, right? So I have also told you about the Power BI. It was an overview on the Power BI, and that I am hoping that. That part of the session was quite helpful for you just to know more about the Power BI. And that was only the reason that I kept the first half or first half an hour only for the overview on the Power BI, because this is very, very important part. So now in today's session, we will learn further, right? So we will start how to, we will start with one of the best and important feature of Power BI, how to create our date table in the Power BI. And this is very, very important because in any of the project, I'm say you have been creating it for your farm, you have been creating it for your own company, you have been creating for your in your practice, right? So you have to create the date table first, and post that you will be able to execute any of the projects. So that's the reason you need to focus on that, so that see you can learn how to create the date table. So though there are various way to create the date table. However, my best way to create the date table is I always prefer to create new table, name it to the like date table calendar auto handle. So now if you see here, you can see your date has been created. So when you use calendar auto function, right? So it takes from the beginning of the date. I would say if you see, the date is being taken from 1st January 1899. So the calendar auto works like that. However, if you have any date available in your data, you can also use that column to create the date table. And we have an other function as well, which is absolutely a big code to create the date table, which is also I'm going to tell you in this class. So in case if you want to format it further, you can format it easily. This is how you can format it further. And now what all fields you required to create a date table, right? So this is something very, very excited and very, very useful for you. Just focus on that. So now, first of all, you required year out of your date. So how would you create the year? Format. What need to be format? Date table date. In which format you want it? The same function which you use in Excel too. Now again, you want month. What need to be format? Date table again. And what format you want? Now you again want next want quarter. Simple, it's quarter of date table. All right. You want quarter name here. So how would you create that? Again, format. What need to be format? Date table. In date table, what has to be format? Date, of course. This is how it will look like, and this is how you can create as much as the field you required. You can create your own date table like this, right? We have another way to create the date table. This is something which I'm going to show you though. So this is the code I have to create the complete text date table. Now what you need to do, in case if you need to create by using this code again, go to get data. Here you can see blank query. Advanced editor. Go to advanced editor and then select all. Select all, copy and paste it here. Click on done. Now it will ask you the start date, end date, and of course the fiscal year start month, right? So start date. So what can be the start date? So you can take whatever date you want to take, right? So let's suppose I would like to take it as 2008. I'm assuming that my company got established or I required that data starting from 1st January 2008, and that's the reason I'm selecting it. Though I can select it more than it, I mean, so I can select it out of, I can select it as 2000, I can select it as 1998 because I have the date table starting from 1899, right? So whatever date you want to select it, you can easily select it. And it should be, of course, you are running into 22, so you can select it as 31st December. Now, what should be the fiscal start month? So some company uses January, some company consider it 1st April, right? So you can consider it as per your requirement or as per your company's policy, right? So I selected 01. Invoke it. So now here you can see we have a new date table created, which is very, very useful. So it has year, it has quarter of the year, it has month of year, it has day of month, date, date format again, month name, month calendar, month in calendar, quarter in calendar, day in week, right? So we have a lot of data here. We have a lot of dates here, right? So you tomorrow, if you need to present your data in any manner, right? So in terms of the date, you can present it in any manner, in any format, right? So this is this is very, very useful code, and you can use it to create your own date table. So now again, go to close and apply. You can see your invoke, another table will be invoke function is here. So now you can you may remain with the same name, or you may change the name of this one. Date table 2. All right. So whichever date you would like to take in your project, you can take easily. That's not a challenge, absolutely. So now, what was our requirement first? So let me look at our requirement. So what exactly our requirement was. So in our data, what we want. So this was our requirements. First, we would like to visualize our cards. What exactly we want? We want total countries, we want total customers, and we want total hotels. So as far as total countries are concerned, right? So this is very simple because we already segregated and we already removed all the duplicity in the country column. So that's the reason we already have in country total country available. We also have total hotels available. Now if it comes to the total customers, right? So for that, for doing that, counting total customer, we will have to write a DEX calculation. And for doing that, again, what we need to do, we can create another table of create another table of, name it to DEX calculation. Guys, this is my way of working because I always prefer to create another table, name it tax calculation, so that see, there are a lot of text which you will have to write to complete your project, right? So there may have some ambiguity or there may have some confusion in case if you write text calculation in any of other tables which are available with you. However, it is very, very easier if you create another DEX table and write all the DEX calculation under that, so that see, you can easily pick up any of the DEX calculation and you can create your project easily. So I always prefer to create my another date table, another table for DEX calculation. Right, so this is how I created another date table. So here you can see we have another table which is created by the name of DEX calculation. So now you need to write a new measure. How would you write a new measure? So you need to calculate total customer. How would you calculate it? So total customers, simple, count. What you need to be count? So we had final data, right? So final data, and what need to be count? Customer ID. So if you need to count total customers, right? So we have customer ID available, so you can easily count it and click on that. Now, if you want to check how many customers we have, this is the number. This is the total number of the customers. Now, this is in the different format altogether, and you cannot understand easily. So what need to be done? You can easily change the format, and what needs to be changed? Data label, right? So display units, here you can see it's a given auto. You can click on the none. Now you have the complete number. In case if you need to change of the format of this, click on total customer, comma. So now this looks perfect as per our requirement, right? So now if you need to further format, you need to do further formatting in it. So you also need to change the background color. Let's do that. Category off, title on, total customers, white color. Data label should be also in white color. Now it looks very good now. All right. So now copy paste the same card, because it is very, very easy. In case if you again go and click on card, right, so you will have to do again the same formatting. So it's good that you have created a card, you just copy it and paste it, so that see, another visualization can be shown in the same format. So now here you want to show total country, simply go and drag it here. So now it is again in the different format altogether. So here you can see a drop down option, select count. So now you have total country here. Again, of course, it is the title is not correct. So total country. All right. You want to change the background color, you can always change it. So how does it look like? It looks good. Now, Aadhaar requirement was, sorry, All right. So now we need to have total hotels. So how would you take that? So again, we have here we already calculated the total hotels name. So you simply can drag it here. So now again, it is in the different format altogether. You can click on the drop down option and you can simply click on count. So now we have total countries here. All right. Again, you need to change the title. So title name should be Total Hotel, and background color should be, let's take this one. No. Let's take this one. Yeah, this looks this looks good as compared to the previous one. So now, how does it look like? So this is something which you wanted to show in the card visualization, and we have already shown it here. So now, first of all, we should go and we should create a slicer here, right? So for creating slicers, so you can see an option here. This is the slicer. So we have option to change it to the different way as well. So now what we can do, let's drag the year here, right? So you can show it in drop down option as well, where it will show you in drop down format. However, list format is always good to show this one. And what I prefer, I more than prefer in horizontal way. And for doing that, you can go in general. Instead of vertical, you can select horizontally. So this is more better than the previous one. And uh, here we can see the year. There are, I mean to say, multiple years starting from the 1899. However, we don't require that, right? So we require only last 3 years or 4 years of data, right? So what we can do, we can simply select year as per our requirement. Let's suppose only 4 years we require. That's it. All right. So now we have the year. Remove slicer header because everyone knows that this is an year. Okay. This looks good. Okay. So you can also change the format. Items color, absolutely. The background of color should be this one. How does it look like? Good. You may change it to the, how does it look like? It is looking good now. It is better, right? So this is how you can create, and you can create the slicers. Now you need to check whether the slicer is working or not. It's not working. Why? It's not working. Are we doing anything wrong? Of course, yes. Why? Because in our previous classes, we learned that if we have been working on a single sheet with a single sheet, right? So relationships are always interconnected, right? So they are, the relationships are inbuilt, already inbuilt. If we have been working on a single sheet or with a single sheet, however, we have multiple sheets out of that the final sheet. However, here we have created a separate date table, and that's the reason. If you go to the relationship part and you see the date table is not connected because we have created a separate date table. This is not out of what the final data was, right? However, the rest of other sheets were already built or already with the relationship, just because we earlier worked on the final data, and these were the duplicate copies of our final data, and that's the reason we already had the relationships on all these sheets. Here, the scenario was different. We created another date table at the separate date table altogether, and that's the reason it was not inbuilt. So now we will have to create a relationship in between the final data as well as date table. So we have three dates available in our final data. We have check-in date, we have checkout date, we have date of booking. So I would prefer making relationship with the date of booking here. So here you can see we have built a relationship between the final data and the date table. And now if you select any of the data, it will start working, right? So it is working on the total customers, because total countries and the total hotels remain same, right? And that's the reason the numbers are not getting changed. However, if you visualize further and visualize further, you will see that the other numbers are also getting changed along with that. So we will see that. So now let's create an other visualization. And other visualization, we would like to see the visitor who visited to the destination are from which country, right? So for doing that, I would prefer the map chart. Go to country, put it into the location. And now, since we calculated total customer here, so total customer should be there in size. Why in size? Why not in longitude and the latitude? Just because if you go and put in total customer in latitude or the longitude, right? So it will not show you the customers number. However, if you put in the total customers there in size, right? So it will also show you the total customers. I mean to say it will reflect here. However, if you put in the total customers either in longitude or latitude, it will not show you. It will only show you the country name. And that's the reason I have put in the total customer in size. So that, see, in your visualization, it should give you the number as well. Right. So maximum time in map chart, what happens? So it gets zoom automatically, right? Either you are shifting to another sheet and come back to this sheet. So it always gets zoom. And this is something which actually you want. You don't want to format your map chart again and again. For doing that, what you can do, you can again format this further. Here we have the map control. So auto zoom, just click on off. So now your map chart has been fixed. It will not get zoom further, whether you are shifting to another sheet or you are closing your Power BI sheet and coming back to this sheet. It will remain same, and it will show you. It will show you in the same format itself, right? In case if you, in case you need to change the bubble size, you can always change it by doing that. So this is how you can explore more things in the formatting part, right? So I'm telling you how to change it. However, yes, you can change it according to your requirement, and you can explore here more things. There are a lot of things which are given, right? So which will definitely fulfill all your requirements, all your projects requirement, right? So you can always explore all these things. Right, so here we have general, we have data colors, we have categories, we have bubbles, we have map control, we have map styles, heat map, right? So this is based on the charts and the graphs you are selecting, right? And as I also told you in our overview, we have more scope to download more graphs and charts. There are a lot of scope in Power BI by using all these scopes or by using all these opportunities, right? So you can always get more charts and graphs. And for doing that, you can click on these three dots, get more visualization. Here you will have to put in your official ID. It will not go further until or unless you have an official ID. You have to have the official ID to get more visualization here. I'll say Power BI will not allow you to get the visualization from this option or from this opportunity. Right, so you will have to get your official ID, and if you have an official ID, you can always get more visualization to create a beautiful dashboard. However, they are more than enough, the charts and graphs which are given there in Power BI, right? If you utilize them and you try creating the dashboard, you can create a very beautiful dashboard by using these charts and graphs. Right? However, yes, if we have an opportunity, we should always grab them and we should always try for them. And that's the reason I'm suggesting you, if you have an official ID, you always try to get more charts and graphs and try using them. All right. So this is how we have we have presented the country-wise customers. Now we would like to show our top destination for the customer. How would you show your top destination for the customers? Right. So for doing that, again, this time I would like to select bar chart. Here you can again select origin country and total customers. Here we have total customers. Now, first of all, you put in the data table here. Just click on here. So now you have multiple data bars here, right? So and all have the unique color available. In case tomorrow, if you have a requirement and you want to change the color of each and every bar available in the chart, right? So you can always do that. Click on show all, and you would have all the country-wise bar color available, and you can easily change it like this. Okay. It is very colorful. I don't want to make it, I mean to say, Govinda style, but yes, this is how you can change in case tomorrow it is required in your project, and just for your knowledge, how to change it. All right. Now we would like to see the top two countries from which the most of the visitors have visited. So for doing that, what you need to do, just click on chart, go to origin country. Now here you can see filter type, top and top two you would like to see, right? And by value, what should be the total customers? How many customers have visited, right? So just put in here, apply filter. Now you can see the top two, Thailand and the Malaysia, are the countries from which most of the visitors have visited the destination, right? So this is how you can show it. And you can use this feature in multiple things, right? So you can show it in your finance project, you can show it in your HR project, you can show it in your IT project, right? So you can show it in your sales project, because it is absolutely required when it comes in terms of the comparison, right? So when you are in terms of the comparison, it will always require you to do that. And that's the reason you should know that how to compare it and how to actually know, if tomorrow you want to know the top 10, top 5, top 20 people in the organization who have performed extraordinary, how would you do that, right? So this is the feature which is available there in Power BI, and you can utilize it. All right. So again, one more thing I would like to show here, show you here. One thing I would like to show you here. So here we have male female count. So for doing that, you have to again write a DAX calculation. Male staff, calculate. What do you want to calculate here? And out of what you want to calculate here, right? So absolutely out of total customers, how many male staffs you have, right? Filter, select gender table. Out of gender table, you want what? Gender, male staff equals to male staff. So now again, go to cards, just put in here data label, make it none. So this is the male staff out of our data. Male staff. Now we again need to calculate female staff. For doing that, either you can copy the complete formula, go to new measure. Now female staff, female. Here we have the female staff. So out of our data, we have 33,148 male staff and we have 33,387 female staff. In case tomorrow, if you need to calculate it in percentage, you can easily do that. And the formula for doing that, of course, the total male staff divided by the total head count we have. For female staff, total female staff divided by the total head count we have, right? So it will give you the exact percentage of the male and female. So this is how you can calculate it. So now one more function I would like to show here, how to write the if function in Power BI, right? So we have this age group, and to calculate age group, how to do that. This is something which we will also learn in today's session. So for doing that, till now we have always calculated the new measure for any kind of calculation. However, this is not the calculation. So we already have the age available in our database. However, we need to calculate the age group out of, we need to create a bucket, right? So it's a kind of bucket which we need to create out of the date column, age column available in our data set. So for doing that, what we need to do, we do not need to calculate or create any measure. Just go to the final data, create new column here. Name it like age bucket or age group, right? So if you ever have worked on Excel and if you ever have used the if function, it is as similar as we have worked on the Excel, right? So it is not beyond beyond the Excel function. However, yes, there may you might see the way of calculating it is a little bit changed. I mean to say the reference is absolutely changed in the Power BI. However, the it is as similar as how do we calculate, or how do we put in the function in Excel, right? So this is as similar as that. So for doing that, if and, right, so now we need to give a logical reference, right? So logical reference of what? So we have the age column in our final data. So if it is more than 5 and final data, sorry, age less than equals to 20, then it should be 5 to 20. All right. If and age more than 20, however, age less than equal to 30, then it should be 21 to 30. If and more than 30, however, less than equal to 40, (31 to 40), as it should be more than 40. Click enter. So now you can see we have another age bucket just beside to our age column, right? So we have created another column where which calls the age bucket. In case tomorrow you need to do a further analysis on that, you can do that. For doing that, again, you have now age bucket. How many people belongs to which age bucket? You can easily calculate that. So now you can see more than 40, we have this group available. Data label on. So we have 29,769 people who are more than 40, 16,772 who are in between 21 to 30, 16,671 people who are in between 31 to 40 age, and 3,323 people who are in between 5 to 20 people who have visited to to their destination, right? So this is how we have created a beautiful dashboard in front of you, and this is how you can also practice on your own, and you could create this similar kind of dashboard just to start with, right? So there are multiple things in the Power BI, and we may learn in our upcoming classes. However, yes, that's it in today's session, and we will see you again. I will definitely hope that you will practice this a lot, and definitely if you practice it and start from today itself, right? So you will have achieved what you want. I mean to say, you will have achieved and you will have learned Power BI. So thank you so much, guys, for being with me and to bear with me. Thanks a lot. We'll see you in our next session. Thank you.